ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः। देवाय तस्मै नमः। देवाय तस्मै नमः। Yeah, 4 is next again. Who's chanting now, Vijay?
अष्टमोऽध्यायः।
अर्जुन उवाच
अर्जुन उवाच
किं तद्ब्रह्म किमध्यात्मम्
किं तद्ब्रह्म किमध्यात्मम्
किं कर्म पुरुषोत्तम
किं कर्म पुरुषोत्तम
अधिभूतं च किं प्रोक्तम्
अधिभूतं च किं प्रोक्तम्
अधिदैवं किमुच्यते
अधिदैवं किमुच्यते
अधियज्ञः कथं कोत्र
अधियज्ञः कथं कोत्र
देहेऽस्मिन् मधुसूदन
देहेऽस्मिन् मधुसूदन
प्रयाणकाले च कथम्
प्रयाणकाले च कथम्
ज्ञेयोऽसि नियतात्मभिः
नेयोऽसि नियतात्मभिः।
श्रीभगवानुवाच
श्रीभगवानुवाच
अक्षरं ब्रह्म परमम्
अक्षरं ब्रह्म परमं
स्वभावोऽध्यात्ममुच्यते
स्वभावोऽध्यात्ममुच्यते
भूतभावोद्भवकरः
भूतभावोद्भवकरः
विसर्गः कर्म संज्ञितः
विसर्गः कर्म संज्ञितः
अधिभूतं क्षरो भावः
अधिभूतं क्षरो भावः
पुरुषश्चाधिदैवतम्
पुरुषश्च अधिदैवतम्
अधियज्ञोऽहमेवात्र
अधियज्ञोऽहमेवात्र
देहे देहभृतां वर
देहे देहभृतां वर
अन्तकाले च मामेव
अन्तकाले च मामेव
Smaran muktva kalevaram.
स्मरन् मुक्त्वा कलेवरम्
Yah prayati samadbhavam.
यः प्रयाति समद्भावम्
Yati nastyatra samshayah.
याति नास्यत्र नास्ति याति नास्त्यत्र संशयः
Once again, antakale cha mameva.
अन्तकाले च मामेव
Smaran muktva kalevaram.
स्मरन् मुक्त्वा कलेवरम्
Yah prayati samadbhavam.
यः प्रयाति समद्भावम्
Yati nastyatra samshayah.
याति नास्त्यत्र संशयः
So this chapter number 8, having started with 7 questions of Arjuna. Last class we completed shloka number 4, by which time Krishna has already referred to 6 of those 7 questions. So Brahma, Kim Tad Brahma, Kim Adhyatmam, and then Kim Karma, that is 3, and then Adhibhutam, Cha Kim Proktam, Adidevam Kim Uchyate, then Adhiyajna Katham Kotra, then Prayana, the 6 are over. So by 4th shloka, he covers 6 of those, at least refers to it. Well, it turns out Krishna is not going to elaborate any more on those 6. 6 of the questions answered by shloka number 4. Okay. So we are not going to get any more elaboration on that. Now, this Prayana Kale Cha Katham, shloka number 2, Arjuna's question. And that starts, answer to that question starts with shloka number 5, Antakale Cha Mameva. And then it goes on till the end of the chapter. Okay. So very unique chapter here, shloka number, chapter number 8. In that, Bhagavan Sri Krishna is going to talk about this life after death. I'm trying to find a way to say Antakal, life after death. What happens to me after death? That's what he's going to say here. Not for all people. He's not going to list all the different, jiva, that the different types of bodies we are going to get and all that. Not that kind of answer. Here his answer is going to be based on, okay, those who are able to, they've gained the bhakti, they are Ishvara Upasakas, they do dhyanam, they do study, they have that bhakti. Such people, what happens to such people? That's what he's going to talk about here. So let's start that with shloka number 5. Okay, am I audible? Yeah. So Antakali, that tells us that Bhagavan Krishna started talking about that Prayana Kali, question that Arjuna had asked about. Okay. So a little bit of background. Mameva Smaran. Okay. Antakale cha Mameva Smaran. Remembering me alone in the last days of one's life. That is the idea here. So therefore, it's clear that Ishvara Dhyanam or Ishvara Upasanam. Upasanam and Dhyanam are identical in this context. And so that is being talked about here. So Ishvara Upasanam means during doing the Dhyanam of Ishvara like we do in our meditation sessions. Okay. It is Saguna Brahma Dhyanam, correct? It is Dhyanam of Sri Krishna. And so it is a form that we know, we recognize, and then we do Upasana. Now, what is the result of this Dhyanam? if we ask, that result is based on not the upasana. It is based on what I want from the upasana. The result is based on what I want from the upasana. Why am I doing the dhyana? Intention. There was a question. Vijay sent a text message in the last class or a couple of classes ago. Can we say intention produces result, not karma itself? Like that, a question was asked. So yeah, that is true. That is true. That is why the entire judicial system is based on what? Why do you need a judicial system? To figure out what the person intended to do. The person may have shot somebody. Point blank shot. Everybody saw it. But after a year of deliberation, he goes scot-free. Why? Because there was no intention to kill. This fellow was pure self-defense. And he was being threatened all the time. And now the life is under threat. Family is under threat. So he decided to do that. Therefore, the jury decided he did not commit a crime. Okay. So despite a violent act being committed, the person goes scot-free. Why? Because intention, motivation, premeditation, all these things are not there in that person, and therefore he cannot get the result. This is beautiful. This is justice. So very obvious now that what is there in my mind? Why am I doing the puja? Why am I doing my dhyanam? Why am I doing the seva? All that. Whatever I want from that only I get. Okay, correct. So therefore, what are the two types of upasanas? One is obviously sakama upasana. Sakama. There are only two things: sakama and nishkama. We're not going to give a big detailed lecture. We are not going to have. We already know the answer. Sakama upasana, nishkama upasana. Sakama saguna brahma upasanam, or sakama saguna ishvara upasanam, or sakama ishvara upasanam. Either way, all these are synonymous in this context. Key is sakama. Sakama. And so sakama means what? Well, I want more. I want more material. Apara prakriti. I want more and more of something. And we need certain things for our survival, no doubt about that. We need it. We are not going to give up. We need to be practical here. We are not teaching something that will make us think and go into some vague thinking and all. We can't do all that here. We are very practical. Some of you would say that. Whatever the body needs, you take care of it. But where is my intention? Do I understand this Brahma Vidya? Do I understand Moksha? Do I understand Advaita Siddhi? That is the question. Do I understand that more and more of something is not going to give me Moksha? It will give me comfort. Yes. Comfort it will give. We are not denying that at all. But comfort and eternal happiness, we have to think through and see if there is any connection between these two. Okay. Good. So, material benefits. Sakama, saguna, upasana. Okay. And so, this upasana, when we say, so we hear of many upasakas who have developed that bhakti to such an extent that they are called, Anjaneya upasakas, Rama bhaktas, Rama upasakas, Sri Devi upasakas. Okay, so Parvati upasaka, like this we have many upasakas, people who meditate on the form of Bhagavan or Bhagavati, and then what happens? They get special powers. They get because they want it. You become an upasaka and you focus on what you want, you will get what you want. This is the rule. God also cannot prevent me from getting what I want. Okay, that's the power of upasana. And so that's why even in Vishnu Sahasranam Stotram, it starts with upasana. Dhyana shloka. They are all called dhyana shlokas. Correct? Bhuf padav yasyana vir vyadasura anilas chandra suryau chanetre. Bhuf padav. Hey, I am going to visualize earth. Okay, earth I can visualize. Okay, and then that is the feet of Bhagavan Sri Vishnu. Feet, just the feet, because you have to visualize the whole. The whole can't be visualized. You can only visualize objects. So large object called earth that I can visualize. Okay, then that is the feet. Only the feet of Bhagavan. That means you have to supposed to visualize the rest of the body through something else, the solar system. And so that's what this one says. Yasya nabihi viyat. Whose navel is this? Is this Vyad Akasha? So huge Vishwarupa. And this that's why it's called Dhyana Shloka. We are supposed to chant it and keep Vishnu in our mind. Then only Vishvam Vishnuva Shatkaro Bhuta Bhavya Bhavat Prabhu. Okay. So this is there for every Lalita Sahasranamam, there is Dhyana Shloka. Every Sahasranamam, there is a Dhyana Shloka. And even Ashtakas, there is Dhyana Shloka. Dakshinamurti Ashtakam, there is Dhyana Shloka. Mauna Vyakya Prakatita Parabrahma Tattvam Yuvanam. Like that. So Dhyana Shloka is where it gives us the tools, it gives us the methods to visualize Bhagavan. That Ishta Devata. Whatever that Devata is, I visualize. So this is Saguna, not necessarily Sakama. Saguna. Okay. Dhyana Shloka. Then what I want by all this makes it Sakama or Nishkama. Correct? Makes it Sakama or Nishkama. And so Sakama, if I do it with Sakama, I will get whatever Aishwaryam I want. With Shraddha, if I do, I will get whatever Aishwaryam I want. I want Artha Kama, Dharma. I will get Artha Kama and Dharma. No doubt about that. And even more also, I want miraculous powers. Siddhas, we call them Siddhas, correct? Siddhas, many Siddhas are there. And anywhere, any part of the world, you can find Siddhas. Who are those Siddhas? They are Upasakas. Okay. Most likely, they are Sakama Upasakas. Why Sakama? How come they are Sakama? They don't have anything. They are simply sitting under a tree. They don't have any possessions. They are not Sakama Upasakas. Well, if they are, you know what kind of benefits that is? Miraculous benefits. Starting simple like this water divining. They say water diviner. How many of you heard of water diviner? Water divining, very important. Very important in a land where water shortage is there. And the first thing is there water in this land? And so the person comes and the person can figure out if there is water. Without any machine, nothing. Siddhi. It's a Siddhi. And so past karma reading is there. And then future telling is always there. That is also a Siddhi only. Whether it is palmistry or whether it is some other history, it is all Siddhi. Pure Siddhi. And then miraculous powers. Our Rakshasas had miraculous powers. They're all Sakama Ishvara Upasakas. Okay. Ravana was a Shiva Upasaka. Shiva Bhakta he was. Okay. Don't think he's an atheist and all that. Ravana is a Pakka religious person. Only thing is he started using it for Kama took over. That is a problem. And so this siddhis are obtained by these siddhas. So it's long ago, this Surendraji asked a question about siddhas. I don't know if you all remember. I remember it. So siddhas are there. And what about them? What is the connection between moksha and them? Okay. Now you should be able to answer these questions, right? Based on everything you've learned. A true siddha will say, don't go after all these siddhis. I got this siddhi, okay, and but then this is not what you all should be seeking. Yeah, I have the ability to cure diseases. Okay, there's a big line of people. They say that they will enter the person on a particular day. Yeah, it's all true. We believe in all this. And it's true also. And then the person starts curing diseases, person starts telling things about you, about your past and future and all that. That is Siddhi. That's the power. And so big queue waiting from morning to night, person is doing this. So these are all true. We believe in all these things. There is a karma palam. That is a palam of that upasana. Some people are gifted with that upasana, ability to do upasana. So this is the ultimate. Basically, I want some wealth, I want some comfort, I want this and that. Okay, that is material benefits. Beyond that, extreme siddhi is there, and so all that is possible. And Puranas mention many siddhis, many siddhis. So therefore, the one who wants that can get it. That is what the Shastram is saying. But then we all understand that this is in the category of Shreyas or Preyas. It has to be Preyas. It has to be Preyas. Because Shreyas means what? Aham Brahmasmi. I am what I am seeking. You are what you are seeking. Tatutvam asi. Anything other than that is going to be praise. So this is Anatma. Anatma Siddhi. This is all Anatma, the world of Anatma. Therefore, praise. And that's why I said a true Siddha will give the right advice to the seeker. I want to bless you. You seem to be a thinking person. Follow the thought process. Find a guru and go study the Shastra. That's what the Siddha Purusha should say. I miss my chance. You should not miss your chance. Correct? Like that he should say. So, this is Sakama Saguna Upasana. Sakama. Now, Nishkama Saguna Upasana. Why should somebody be a Nishkami? There must be a reason for it. And the only reason for Nishkama is this. That I don't see any difference between you and me. I don't see any difference at all between Bhagavan and me. And therefore they say Bhakti, language of Bhakti. I want to, you take me and you come into me. I want to merge into you. I don't want anything else. Nothing else in the world appeases me. Everything is anityam, ephemeral. I know. I will not fall into your trap anymore. Okay. And I've done all these things. Now I solved the puzzle. And so take me with you. Take me with you means not that I'm afraid of life and therefore I want to run away and you take me. Not that kind of take me with you. Take me with you means I figured it all out. Meera ke Prabhu Giridhar Nagar. So that bhakti is complete. And you've solved all my problems. That's it. I don't have anything else. So that, therefore, Nishkama, that is Nishkama Saguna Upasana. Once you think of that Krishna as somebody who is not separate from me, then that becomes Nishkama. And so all our puja and pratana and everything should lead towards Nishkama Bhakti. Sakama Bhakti should lead towards Nishkama Bhakti. Correct? Because we understand the limitations of Dharma, Artha and Kama. Correct? Limitations are very clear. So, so the purpose of this Nishkama Upasana is of course Advaita Siddhi. Anything other than Advaita Siddhi, Anadvaitam is called Anadvaitam, is going to involve getting, doing, etc. Going, reaching. And we are made to believe that when you reach a particular place, you will be there forever. This forever business, you know, and then they lived happily forever, right? And these movies, I think they also do a little damage to our thinking process. Forever, and then they lived happily forever. Yeah, we want everybody to live happily forever, no doubt. But then, how are you going to live happily forever when I don't change the ways of my thought processes? When I don't understand what is karma, what is jnanam, etc., then this forever comes only through jnanam that we all have understood. So, nirmana moha jita shanga doshaha, like that he's going to say in the 15th chapter. So, this vairagyam, why is vairagyam praised? If karma is going to be a goal, if my goal is to get whatever I want, that should be my goal, right? Whatever I want, I should get and I'll be happy. If this is the goal, then there will be no value for vairagyam. This word vairagyam is a meaningless word. Absolutely meaningless. Why should I give up what I like? It's totally illogical. Why should anybody give up what they like? I have the right to eat whatever I want. Who are you to tell me what I? Why is there, something is there to eat or not? Yes. Then, if I don't eat, who is going to eat? This is my logic for eating whatever I want to eat. Hey, this non-veg and all, think about it. Then they'll give some argument. Animals also can kill, so why should I not kill? Like this, the argument will be given. You can't argue with somebody who has made up their mind to say, this is how I'm going to be. And so, therefore, this vairagyam is important. And so, what is the result of this nirguna brahma upasanam? The result is nirguna brahma jnanam. Sorry, nishkama saguna upasana. Okay, this is where we are, right? Nishkama saguna upasana. Result of that is what? Should be based on my intention. Result is based on the intention. And the intention is, the purpose is antakarana shuddhi and moksha. Jnanena moksha advaita siddhi. Then that is what will happen. If that is the purpose for which I am doing this upasana, that is what I will get. Correct? So, and so that is what we call here sadhyo muktihi, jivan muktihi. Correct? Jivan mukti. Will I get moksha after I die or before I die? Only Advaita Vedanta talks about before death. Moksha before death. Nowhere else it's allowed. It's possible. They will mock at you when you say Jivan Mukti. How can you get Mukti? God is out there. Only after you reach God, you are going to get moksha. What moksha are you talking? Jivan Mukti does not exist anywhere. No book, no religion, nothing. It doesn't exist. Why? Because you have to travel. One long trip is there. Only after the long trip you are going to get moksha. Therefore, only Advaita Vedanta. We talk about Jivan Mukti. How is Jivan Mukti possible? Well, Jivan Mukti is possible because I am already what I am seeking. That is only possible. That is why Jivan Mukti. And if I'm already what I'm seeking, then what is it that stops me from getting moksha? Yes, that ajnanam, the absence of knowledge of that fact alone is what is preventing me from this mukti. And therefore, jnanam becomes very important. Therefore, antakarana shuddhi becomes important. And therefore, so this vairagyam, viveka. Viveka means what? Thinking. Nitya anitya vastu viveka. Nitya anitya vastu. Why bother with all this nitya vastu and all? So what? Okay, all this rasagulla is anityam. So what? I enjoy it. I enjoy it. Why are you lecturing like this? Why are you, whatever little happiness we are having, you are ruining all that. Ruining all of that. They have something called late night shows. Okay, late night. Are they in India? Are there late night shows like in US? No late night shows, no? Yeah, I don't remember. I don't switch channels. My father is constantly watching Republic or Shakra TV. So there's no chance of seeing any other channel. And so there's no late night show. In America, there is something called late night show. Late night show is a religion. People watch it religiously. And from those days, Johnny Carson and David Letterman, and slowly younger people came, Arsenio Hall, and this and that. There's a big list of people. And you have a choice between who you want to watch also. Late night. And we will watch. It's all comedy. Supposed to be comedy. And so I can say, what is this late night show is so enjoyable. And instead of doing that, this is early morning 6:30 show. You know, this Vedanta class. Early morning show. You stopped us from enjoying late night show. You are wanting us to come to early morning show. What? This is ridiculous. And so that is why we want some vivekam. Hey, think through this. And then that vivekam, everything is born of viveka, thinking. We are all, as Swamiji, Puja Swamiji would say, truth seekers, truth people, like that he used to say. And whatever be the truth, if the truth is you got to go to heaven to get moksha, let that be the truth. We rationalize that and say that's the truth. And therefore, Saguna Brahma Upasanam can be either Sakama or Nishkama. And therefore, and here the idea is that if a person did not get moksha in this life, because that is Arjuna's concern, he seems to have that concern. And earlier also, he asked, I think, did he not ask? Ushitva, maybe it's coming in another chapter. And he's going to say that. Chinnabrameva Nashyati. And so here also, same Prayana Kali, what happens? In this Janma, I have you as my teacher, my company, and all that. What happens in next Janma? Will you be there? And what will happen? Will I have this kind of great life? That question can be there. And so he says, the person who has the right intention but has not pursued jnanam, because the only way to remove ignorance is jnanam. The only way to see that it's a rope is the removal of, is to see it as a rope. And if I constantly see snake, I have to understand that it is not, there is no snake there. There's no other way out. That jnanam is the only way out. And so, therefore, if perchance a person did not study Shastram, is a bhakta and is a Saguna Upasaka, Saguna Ishvara Upasaka, but did not achieve what they wanted here, then what will happen? Krishna is going to talk. Shukla Gatihi. It's called Shukla Gatihi. Okay. It means what? The person will go to Brahmaloka. Brahmaloka. And then what happens in Brahmaloka? Then Brahmaji himself will become the teacher. What kind of Brahmaji? Our Nirguna Brahman is the teacher? No. Saguna Brahman. That is Brahmaji. This is Nirguna Brahman. Napumsakam, neutral gender. That is Pullingam, masculine, Brahma. Brahmaji, Chaturmukha Brahmaji will be there and he will teach. And what a great thing. He will be teaching. And so he will have better jokes to talk about. And it won't be boring at all. And there is no question of body pain and this backache and lower back and all that problem will not be there. Because Brahmaloka, you can't have all these things. Mosquito bite problem is not there. You don't need all this Netlon and all that is not needed. And power cuts, you don't have to worry. This internet bandwidth and all, you don't have to worry. Internet itself is not needed. And so, therefore, where is the question of this internet bandwidth problem? And so all this BSNL, these things are not there, not required. And no hunger, no thirst, nothing. Only pure listening, Shravana. And Swamiji says, don't think I'm saying all these things. Krishna himself is going to say about this Shukla Gati, like that. It's going to come later in this chapter itself. Okay? So, even in Parvati, Sahasranama Shlokam and all, Devi Sahasranama comes. So, Brahmana Sahate Sarve Samprapte Pratisanchare. Some of you may know it. Parasyante Kritatmanaha Pravishanti Param Padam. Like that. It is mentioned in many granthas. So, this chapter is all about Krama Muktihi, not Jivan Muktihi. Krama Mukti. This chapter is unique. Everywhere else, Jivan Mukti, Jnanam. But this chapter, Prayana Kale, the minute you talk about Prayana Kala, it has to be Krama Mukti. It's not in this Janma, next Janma. So, very unique chapter. Krishna spent some time on that. And, but Swamiji says, just because there is Krama Mukti, don't postpone. Arey, Brahmaloka, free trip to Brahmaloka, who is going to give? Oh, be smart, fellow. Don't study Bhagavad Gita now. Otherwise, you can't go to Brahmaloka. If you get moksha now itself, then you can't go to Brahmaloka. This kind of logic may be there. So Swami says, don't postpone. Just because Krama Mukti, Bhagavan Krishna is giving an option, that doesn't mean you should stop attending classes. Okay. Therefore, with this background, if we look at this shloka, Yah Prayati, Yaha Prayati. Okay, so second line I'm looking at. Yaha Prayati. Prayana Kale. Yaha Prayana Kale. Yaha Prayana Kalam Prapnoti. Yaha Prayati. One who passes away. One who passes away. That Saguna Upasaka who passes away. Okay, and did not jump into Atma Vichara. Nishkama Bhakti, okay? Nishkama does not mean Atma Vichara. Nishkama need not mean Shravana. The person says, no, I know that this world is Anityam. And so nothing attracts me. Therefore, I become a Nishkama Upasaka. But Shravanam not done. Okay, Shravanam not done. And so, therefore, that person passes away. Yaha Prayati. Then what? How Prayati? Kalevaram Muktva. Okay. Kalevaram Muktva. The last two words of the first line. Kalevaram. At least in this Tamil people will be thinking Kalevaram. And Kannada also, I think it is there. Where is that? Kalevaram. Kalevaram. Generally in Tamil, the only time we use this word Kalevaram is when there is, and the kids are playing with pandemonium and Ure Kalevarama. Kalevarama means just everything is not where it's supposed to be. It's all a mess. Chaos. It's called Kalevaram. But yahan par Kalevaram is not chaos. It refers to Dehaha, Shariram, body. This body, Muktva. The person passes away leaving this body. That is how Krishna is describing in a shloka form. Leaving this body, Kalevaram Muktva. Okay. But at what time? Antakale. At the end of one's life. Yaha Prayati Saha. And Mameva Smaran. Thinking of me alone. Person passes away thinking of me alone. And then Saha Madbhavam Yati. Since the person was thinking of me alone, Saha Madbhavam Yati. Because they say, no, as one thinks, so one becomes. There is some statement like that. As one thinks, so one becomes. So whatever I think of, that is what I become. And so that is true. So true. Not only true in this life, it is true about the afterlife also. That is what Krishna is saying here. That same law that applies in my day-to-day life applies from this life to next life also. Saha Madbhavam Yati. And Bhagavan Shankaracharya says Madbhavam. He says Vaishnavam Padam. He uses that word. It's a common word that's used in Shastra. Vaishnavam Padam. Can be interpreted as I have gone to Vaikunta and I will be with Krishna. Correct? Can be interpretation. Can be an interpretation. But Shankara Vaishnavam Padam is this Advaita Siddhi. We go there and then another opportunity will be there to gain Jivan Mukti in the next life. Jivan Mukti in next life. Vaishnavam Padam. Okay. And then then what is the guarantee for all this? No, when you buy something in the store, you ask for warranty, 1 year warranty or what? Washing machine means they say that the structure there's some 3 year warranty, and then engine, that machine inside, whatever it's 5 years or 10 year warranty, like that they say. The warranty is there. What's the guarantee of all these things? So Krishna is saying, just to convince Arjuna here, I suppose, na asti atra samshayaha. Na asti atra samshayaha. You should not entertain any doubt in this. That's what he's saying. Na asti atra samshayaha. So if I believe Krishna's words, then Krishna is saying, don't worry, this is how it's going to be. Like that. So there are certain things that have to be believed, and you believe based on Krishna as a pramanam. Bhagavad Gita is a pramanam for us, and therefore we have no problem believing this. And that's why Swamiji says also, if you have a problem with the belief, then okay, then start studying, start coming to classes now itself. Don't worry about Brahmaji and Brahmaloka now. Okay? Because really speaking, it is belief only. Brahmaloka is a belief. We believe in it. Very much we believe in it because Krishna says. But somebody says, prove it. Can't prove it. Can't prove it. You have to believe in Krishna, Krishna's words, and then only it becomes true to us. Okay. So this is the shloka here, right? So let's look at the translation now. Antakale cha mameva Smaran muktva kalevaram yah prayati samadbhavam yati nastyatra samshayaha. Looks like a tongue twister there. Nastyatra. Okay. And so cha there is a continuation of the previous shloka. And because seventh question, Arjuna, you asked this question, I answered you. And seventh question, answer to the seventh question being, and at the time of death, comma, the one who departs, giving up the body. The one who departs, giving up the body, comma, remembering me alone. Me alone. Comma, he, she gains my nature. He, she gains my nature. Full stop. Regarding this, comma, there is no doubt. Regarding this, comma, there is no doubt. And at the time of death, comma, the one who departs, giving up the body, comma, remembering me alone, you can put me in uppercase M if you want, comma, he, she gains my nature, my in uppercase, full stop. Regarding this, comma, there is no doubt, full stop. Everybody got that? Yeah. Okay. Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam.
Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam.
Tyajatyante kalevaram.
Tyajatyante kalevaram.
Tam tamevaiti kaunteya.
Tam tam evaiti kaunteya.
Sada tadbhava bhavitaha.
Sada tadbhava bhavitaha.
Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam.
यं यं वापि स्मरन् भावं
त्यजत्यन्ते कलेवरम्
त्यजत्यन्ते कलेवरम्
तं तमेवैति कौन्तेय
तं तम् एवैति कौन्तेय
सदा तद्भावभावितः।
सदा तद्भावभावितः।
Mahodaya, is it Kalevaram or Kalevaram?
Kaleva. So va as in vanam. Va as in Venkatesha. Va. Vakara. In Sanskrit, I mean, that's the way it is. Kalevara. The literal meaning of Kalevaram is this. Kal here refers to that seminal fluid, and Vara is the greatest. The greatest thing that can come out of the seminal fluid is this human body. Can you believe this? Etymology of this word, Kalevara. And so, Manushyanam Narajanmam Durlabha. So this human body is a very precious body. That is the meaning of that, Kalevara. Okay. So this shloka, if you look, I see some words that are picked from the previous shloka. Yaha, Yam is Yaha is there, and then Smaran is there, Kalevaram is there, okay? Tadbhava Bhavita. So there are similar words, Kalevaram, Smaran, etc. So remembering all those words are coming. So the question becomes, suppose I don't think of you, Krishna, suppose I don't think of you at the time of my death. What happens? This should be the next question, right? If I think of you, then you're going to give me a good life. Okay, that you've told me. Okay, Nishkama Buddhya. But suppose I don't, then what happens? That question is answered here. Okay, and that is what one gets, what one thinks of. As one thinks, so one gets. As one does, so one reaps. You know, they say these things. I think this must be a biblical statement. This reaps and all that. So as one thinks, so one becomes. That's the idea here. And whatever I'm thinking of, that is what I will get. That is why we try. That's why this viraga, vairagyam and all is so important. Vairagyam and vivekam, so important, because this deep attachment to things, deep attachment to family, etc., it binds us. Basically, binds us. It doesn't free us. Because how do I know it doesn't free me? Well, because at the end, as I keep growing older, my worries only keep on increasing. It doesn't reduce. Hey, I thought that's why I say those great old days. Great old days means what? Childhood days. Why those are good? Because I was worry free. I had no worry whatsoever. Just even going to school, exams was stressful, but still those days were good. Why? I didn't have to worry about anything. There is no such thing called future for me. I was never thinking of future. Future comes. Once I grow up, then future is just looming large in front of me. What will happen? It's a big vacuum, big thing out there. I don't know. It's a no man's land, it seems. And so that's why Shastra protects. Shashana Trayate. Shastra, by talking about it and revealing the true nature of everything, it protects us. And so as one thinks, so one becomes. And we have to, so that we have to be relatively anxiety free. We have to find ways to, practical ways. That's why all these other self-help books are, I think, good. They're always good, because if it helps us, we should make use of it. That's a fact. And whether it is some emotional issues or family related issues or anything else, any conflicts, self-help is something we have to work on. And so at least at the level of that basic level, we have to help ourselves. Uddared atmanatmanam natmanam avasad. And so thinking and constantly pondering about the future, even though there is really everything is there, and still I ponder and worry about the future, means that's hypochondria. I have to fix all those issues. And so this thing, watch all your thoughts. Watch all your thoughts, for they become your words. Okay. And then choose your words, for they become your actions. Understand your actions, for they become your habit. Study your habits, for they become your character. Develop your character, for it becomes your identity. Destiny. It becomes your destiny. Okay. This I saw long ago, some 20-30 years ago. I saw it somewhere on the internet. I saw it, and ever since then I remember this. And then when I heard Swami Paramarthananda ji, he quotes this, and he says, I love this also, he says. I felt very happy when I heard that Swamiji say this. And so, very true. It's so true. That's the meaning. And so our thoughts are so important. And Krishna also says that. And whatever I think during the day, typical day, that's what I'm going to think when I die also. Moments before our death also, that's what I'm going to think of. That's the idea here. And what time is it? Okay. So Krishna is saying, not just with respect to this life, but with respect to the next life also, the same thing is true. And so we have this nice, beautiful story of Jadabharata. Jadabharata. So he's a Rishi, Maharshi. And then he wants to, there's a deer. And then a deer becomes very dear to him. Correct? A deer becomes very dear to him. That's it. That is the story of Jadabharata. And then next Janma, he takes birth as a deer, and all the story comes. And so it's very clear that that story tells us that whatever my thoughts are during the last days, that is what will determine my future. It seems a little unfair also, is it not? Yeah, I worked so hard, everything I'm doing properly and all, and you're telling me last thought, that is what is going to define who I am. Yeah, the idea is not literally the last thought. The idea is my last thought is going to be defined by who I am, how I led my life. And so that how I led my life now is what is going to determine my future. That is what Krishna is saying. So Kalevaram ante tyajati. Look at that. Ante tyajati. Yam yam bhavam smaran. So ante tyajati. Tyajatyante. Okay, you have to split it. Tyajati ante. Okay, there is a sandhi there. Koyanachi. And ante tyajati. So those who's studying Panini in our class? Panini. Lagu Siddhanta Kaumudi. Okay, nobody studying. So that rule, how nasti atra becomes nastyatra. So there is a sandhi rule. And so Panini gives a rule for that. Ikoyanach. That's his rule. Absolutely brilliant. Our people have just figured it all out. They have converted this whole language into a science and then given us all these rules. And so Panini is the father of linguistics, if at all anybody wants to even talk about that. And Panini lived, I don't know how many years ago, 2000, I think years ago, he must have lived, maybe in 2500, I think. Anyway, so ante tyajati, at the end of one's life, tyajati, gives up what? Kalevaram, the body. And then yam yam vapi smaran bhavam. Yam yam bhavam smaran. Whatever things that person remembers in the last days of one's life, yam yam bhavam smaran va api. Va, why va? Va means or. If you don't think of me, you're thinking of anything, something else. Okay, whatever those something else is, whatever that something else is, va, yam yam bhavam va smaran tam tam eva eti. Eti means gains, attains, prapnoti. So there you have to split. Tam tam eva eti. Eti is the verb there. Eti, eti, eti. Eti. And tam tam eva eti. That alone the person gains, attains in the next slide. Hey Kaunteya, why sada tadbhava bhavitaha, and why? Because sada sarvada, always that person was thinking about that. Tadbhava bhavitaha, tadbhava bhavitaha, and because that person's mind was soaked in those thoughts. Like Rasagulla is soaked in that liquid, like that, that person was always thinking of that. And therefore, whatever that person was thinking of, that he will get, she will get. That is what is being said here. So, pretty straightforward here. Yam yam smaran tam tam eva et. Whatever that person thinks of, that he, she gets. That's what it is. Okay, so let's translate this. Hey Kaunteya, or hey Arjuna, son of Kunti. Hey Arjun. Arjun. Yeah, these people, Hindi people will have difficulty switching from Hindi to Sanskrit. Arjun. And here they have to say Arjuna. And then they have to put up with people like me who says Arjuna. So all these problems are there for, north-south pronunciation differences. Okay, hey Arjun, thinking of whatever object, object is very general word. Object means thing, people, whatever it is. Thinking of whatever thing itself is enough. While one gives up the body, thinking of whatever object while one gives up the body, at the time of death, comma, while one gives up the body at the time of death, okay, comma, one attains that very object. One attains that very object, comma, being always steeped in that thought. Being always steeped in that thought. Tadbhava bhavita. One attains that very object, comma, being always steeped in that thought. Full stop. So let me read that. Hey Arjuna, thinking of whatever object while one gives up the body at the time of death, comma, one attains that very object, comma, being always steeped in that thought. Full stop. Yeah? Got it? Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.